So in this video I'll show you how to set up a HDRI and also how to create a drag and drop HDRI setup so that you can easily create lighting for your scenes. A HDRI or high dynamic range image is an image that contains lighting information. It combines multiple different images of the same image, especially darkening it will only make the image darker. The bright parts of the image will turn grey because it doesn't have any other direct light at different images that can also how to create using HDRIs. So in this video I'll show you how to set up a HDRI and also how to create a drag and drop HDRI setup so that you can easily create lighting for your scenes. A HDRI or high dynamic range image is an image that contains lighting information. It combines multiple different images of the same scene at different exposures and saves them in special file formats like .hdrs or .exors. If you ever change the brightness of a HDRI, it will then be able to give you the correct lighting information for that brightness, whereas changing the brightness of a regular image, especially darkening it, will only make the image darker. The bright parts of the image will turn grey because it doesn't have any other information to use. You can use HDRIs to light your entire Blender scene, but the result changes depending on the render engine. Using HDRIs with Eevee will only give you reflections, however Cycles uses the HDRIs for both lighting and reflections. First of all, we need a HDRI to use, and you can find them on tons of sites, but the one I mainly use is Polyhaven. They have thousands of free HDRIs just select whichever one you want and download it. You can choose whatever resolution you want, but 4K is more than enough. You can create your own HDRI by using a tripod and a camera, but it's a lot of work. You have to take enough pictures so that you can stitch them all together into a 360-degree image, and then you also need to use different exposures to capture brighter or darker images for each angle. Alternatively, you can use a 360 camera, but they can be expensive. Unless you have some very specific needs, just download your HDRIs. For most people, it's just not worth the trouble. Now that we have our HDRI, we can set it up in Blender. I've created a very simple scene here with a metallic sphere and a plane. We can set it up in Blender. I've created a very simple scene here with a metallic sphere and a plane, just so we can see what the reflections and shadows look like. I'm going to use with a metallic sphere and a plane, just so we can see what the reflections and shadows look like. I'm going to use Cycles so we can see the full Cycles so we can see the full effect of the HD.
This is beautiful, isn't I did exactly as OP told me. Alright, always click on environment texture. It looks even more gorgeous now, doesn't it? I need to get all those wheels black, because all car wheels have black tires. I can make the wheels whatever I want. I meant the tires should be. We're gonna go to open, and WEBP is not good actually. We need to look for an EXR. Let's see if we have any EXRs. No. I'll look for some. It's ideal to download in 4K, no more or less. You don't want to go too low and you don't want to go too high. Go for the happy medium. This is 4K. Wow. Can you just imagine if this was real life? I love this. I love this beautiful shot.
How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
I'm in an actual boat, because I've been using Grammarly's AI.
Lighting in Blender can be tricky. Setting up lights can be the effect of the HDRI. We need to go to the World tab on the right, and this is where we can change the world color. You can change this and it will change the color of your entire scene, but we want to use an image, and we can do this by clicking the yellow circle and choosing Environment Texture. The whole scene will turn pink, and this is just Blender's way of telling us that it can't find an image. Now all we have to do is click Open and choose your HDRI. And there you go, you have realistic lighting in your scene. You can change the strength to change the brightness. It would also be nice to be able to rotate the texture. All you have to do is click Open and choose your HDRI. And there you go, you have realistic lighting in your scene. You can change the strength to change the...
Let's try that. Lower score will make it look more realistic. I like 0.2. I like 0.1. I like 0.05. Or just 0.01. I like 0.01. It gives a blend of, well, it's nighttime, it's real life, it gives a graph, it's a blend of real life and graph.
the brightness. It would also be nice to be able to rotate the texture, and we can do this very easily by changing the vector from default to mapping, and then